plumbing pros. Welcome to Potty Talk Live, where we take it into the trenches, the crawl spaces, the basements, the kitchens and baths all over this world to talk to plumbing pros just like you. Hey, I'm Richard Behney, the $1 Million Plumber, coming to you live from Command Central here in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana. At least it's beautiful today. We got the windows open. I can hear the doves kind of cooing out there. I kind of have a spring fever day. I was talking to our special guest. Hey, we got a great special guest on here. Got a cool cat out of Sarasota, Florida. Going to have some fun conversation. But we were talking before we went live here, and it's kind of even had technical difficulties. It's kind of be me. I think if anything goes wrong during this broadcast, it's me, because I got spring fever today. I was telling our guest that if I was working for him and he had me out in some dig job today, I'd be that plumber that'd be kind of pretty much worthless, you know. And the lovely Laura here is agreeing. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of worthless today. Mm-hmm. I know. I did some work this morning. We had some $1 Million Plumber consultation type stuff this morning, and then I got out of the house, went for a drive in the Screaming Eagle, you know, with the windows down, and I stopped by my favorite. I admit, I'm supposed to be on a diet, mm-hmm. but I stopped at my favorite Taco Bell.
Did you get a salad?
Did I get a salad? Yes, did I get a salad? No, I got a bean burrito, minus onions, mm-hmm. extra cheese, and I added sour cream. All right, so it's been that kind of a day. All right. Hey, I have something for you, though. I still have something for you here. All right. Hey, if you're a guy that's looking to do your own thing and you're out there with your plumbing license and your plumbing truck and got your plumbing dream, hey, there's some things you got to know. That's great that you have those things, but there's some things you got to know, and I want to help you out. I have something free for you, all right? No strings attached. There's no catch, all right? The 7 must-knows to be $1 Million Plumber, all right? The 7 must-knows. So these are things you got to know. We talk about it all the time. This is a no snowflake zone, so I talk straight with you, all right? If you don't know these things, the odds are huge. I sound like the Donald. Huge. They're huge that you will fail. Don't want to scare you, but 95% of all plumbing businesses fail within the first 3 years. And it's not because they're not good plumbers. They just don't know these things, all right? So I want to get these into your hand. Just type free in the comments, and that's FREE, and I'll get that report sent out to you. And it's a simple, easy read, but there's things 7 things you got to know. And hey, if you put these things into practice, you too will be $1 Million Plumber. All right, there we go. Hey, let's get with it. I'm anxious to bring this cat on here. All right, let's bring him on here. Everybody, welcome. All right, hey, how you doing, Greg?
Pretty good, Richard. How about yourself?
Doing good, brother. You're gonna have to. Hey, I apologize here. I'm a little flaky here tonight. Here, you heard me. We were talking about it, but I'm feeling the spring fever here. So,
all good.
What's it like down there in Florida? Is it nice?
It is beautiful today in Florida.
All right. Well, hey, gang, we have Mr. Greg Faulkner with Plumbing Today. Hey, Greg, why don't you? Hey, there we go. We got your logo up there, Plumbing Today. There you are. All right, looking good. That looks good. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into plumbing?
Okay, so originally I'm from the United Kingdom. Been in the United States for about 22 years now.
All right.
Married, got 3 kids. Been on the west coast of Florida here in the Sarasota market for about 15 years. Since I've been here, plumbing has been my full-time career. Been doing it for a long time. But for the last 15 years, started as a service tech in the field, worked my way up into team leader, service manager, field supervisor. And now I'm a department manager. I run Plumbing Today out of our Sarasota office. We got about 37 employees in the plumbing department, and we do about $7.5 million a year in revenue.
All right, brother. Man, we got some pretty good stuff happening there. Well, how did you? Okay, you got a story there. You came across the big pond.
Yeah.
How'd you get into plumbing, and how'd you wind up here and get into plumbing? Were you plumbing in the UK or?
No. I moved to the States when I was 16. I had family members that always told me, learn a trade but go to school, learn a trade but go to school. I did.
That's good.
Got through college and said, I'm not going to plumb ever again. And here we are.
Here you are. Right. You couldn't wash it off.
No, definitely not. It's great money. Let's be honest.
Hey, you got a great point there. It's a great industry, and great advice there. Get a trade. I got some guys, buddies that I run around with in the finance and that kind of stuff, and sometimes they shake their head and say, "Man, I should have just learned a trade like you."
Indeed, absolutely.
So there's all kinds of opportunities
Yep.
if you take advantage of it.
Learn a trade, you'll never be unemployed.
There we go, brother. That's right. Hey, guys, there was some good advice right there. Hope you're listening up. Hey, well, what's your expertise? What's your thing?
So I've done a little bit of everything. I've done residential construction, commercial, new construction, institutional construction, but
Okay.
I live, breathe, eat, and sleep residential service and repair.
There we go. Why is that? Give us.
That's where the money is.
There we go.
That is where the money is.
Ain't that the truth?
Indeed.
Right.
Indeed.
So on that, what is something with that? I mean, there's a lot behind that. So I'm kind of setting you up here a little bit, and not necessarily, I don't know for the good or for the bad, because there's so much there. But what about that is something that we should know that we don't know that about the money being in the service.
The money is most definitely in service. If somebody calls you, they got no hot water.
Mm-hmm.
Could just be a blown out element, but it's a 15, 16-year-old water heater.
Right.
That heater doesn't owe you any money. You need to get rid of that. It's time to replace it. And sometimes it takes a little bit of skill and talent to explain that to the customer. They're not necessarily expecting to call the plumber out in the morning and spend thousands of dollars.
Yeah, you're so right.
They need to spend thousands of dollars.
Exactly right. I say that all the time. That's why, yeah. The lovely Laura over here is, she's kind of laughing because that's my saying. No one wakes up in the morning and wants to call a plumber, but they have to. And you're right. It sounds like you've done everything as well, and that's my background. Done everything, and when I got looking at it, and really is what has really made my career and made us money is that in the service side of things, there's lots of customers and it's immediate cash flow.
Yep.
And those two things are extremely important.
Yep.
I don't have anything against new construction or the commercial side of things, but it's a whole nother ball game to play.
Yep.
And it's a tougher road to hoe.
It most definitely is, and it's always best to work for the end user.
There we go. Right. They're emotionally. You wind up at their home again. They don't want to call you in the morning, and we've all been there. You see this. They all have different personalities. But they are emotionally involved, and they want to get it done. And the opportunity is huge. Just like yours, that's a great example with the water heater. They have no hot water. They just want hot water again, but it's a 15-year-old water heater full of sediment.
Yep.
Or whatever. Yep. And so the opportunity is there to sell a larger ticket.
Yep, bigger ticket. Right. Upgrade them to a tankless.
There we go. Yep. And it's just learning to play that game, so to speak. We were talking on that, not to kind of off the cuff here a little bit. We were talking in the green room, and you mentioned that you're part of Nexstar.
Correct.
And that's an organization that has training and those kinds of things.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Industry best practices. Right. A lot of people say it's to teach you how to sell. It's to teach you how to sell. It absolutely isn't. It's process. Let's be honest. You got to sell yourself every day, one way or another.
Right.
And then we do exercises in Nexstar, whether you're a one-truck operation that's a time and material shop versus, an upfront pricing, one truck, two truck, 100-truck operation. The costs are almost identical.
Right.
Everyone says, "Oh, your hourly rate is this, your hourly rate is that." It's not the case. I mean, most time and material shops, it's a vicious circle to the bottom. You've got shop A that's $125 an hour. Shop B says, "I want to compete. I'm going to lower my price to $100 an hour." And shop A says, "Well, I got to compete too." It's a vicious circle to the bottom. That drives me insane.
That's a killer. That's a killer. Talking with a guy this morning, one of my clients, and that's I get that game because you're trying to compete, but you get involved in that game, it's a spiral, as you put it, to the bottom.
Yeah, it's a race to the bottom. You're not going to do any favors to your customers because when they call you in 18 months, you're out of business because you've got no money in the bank.
Exactly. And I tell you, man, for 30 years, I've always heard, I've never, it's rare. If you ever get this, you ever get a customer that's, when you give them the price and it's like, all right, go for it, but most of the time it's what? You know, whether you tell them $5,000, what? $500, what? $50, what? It's always, it's always that. So, that's, we just got to learn how to educate our consumers and,
absolutely,
and customers on that. So what is something, kind of being a little real here, in front of everybody, but what is something that you struggle with, whether it's the plumbing side or the business side, maybe, a bit of emphasis on the business side of things?
One of the deepest struggles I have is holding team members accountable. Everyone has certain goals they have to meet, certain standards they've got to keep. And, unfortunately, sometimes you don't want to really hold someone accountable because, my God, what if they want to leave?
Right.
It's not like I've got plumbers lining up at the door to come in, falling off of trees.
Right.
Let's be honest. It's hard to find help.
Everywhere.
You've got to grow your own. It doesn't matter where you're at, big city, little town. Everyone has the same problems.
Yep.
It's a supply and demand. There's a lot of demand and very little supply, and it's hard to get people into the trades.
Right.
So.
That's a good point. And just, the term I always use, I never was held hostage by my guys.
Correct.
I just wasn't going to be held hostage.
You can't go through life or through business that way. It's just not a good place to be.
So what are you doing to work on that? What's your personal thing or
your company? So we do a lot
company?
of coaching. We do a lot of one-on-one coaching between myself, my field supervisor. We set goals for the technicians, hold them accountable, and we'll have counseling sessions. And at that point, we'll start to coach them up. Or if they can't be coached up, then we have to coach them out.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, and that's not fun.
It's not fun.
But that is reality.
Part of the job, but it has to happen.
A lot of the guys I work with are quite frankly, and that's what's on my heart is the one truck, the mom and pop type outfits, and that's where I came from. My wife and I, the lovely Laura over here, literally started our company from the kitchen table, and we grew it into a rather decent sized company. We're proud of, not want to brag. But really, the majority of companies are the mom and pop size, plumbing companies, and that's one of the biggest mistakes they make. I see guys making is they hire warm bodies. They're just looking at the plumbing, and you can't. And I get it. You want someone who's skilled and you want to pick up that extra work. But that idea of even, I think you said, of training them up. You mentioned that's what you do. You coach them up.
Coach them out.
Take someone that's not necessarily as skilled, but that they'll work in your program, and and you get them 6 months into something more, a year more,
exactly.
And that is much that is much better return on that asset.
Most definitely.
And
build your own, grow them, cultivate them.
Right, and just bringing a warm body in. So where do you envision your company being in a year? What's the vision?
Well, we've been doing some pretty significant expansion over the last couple of years. The company started as we're a full service home service provider, HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. Started as a new construction HVAC company, 1963.
Oh man!
Current owner has had the company for 14 years now. 14 years he went from essentially a new construction AC company with a very small service department, about 20 employees, $3-4 million a year in revenue. We're now 3 locations, 250 plus employees, $35+ million a year in revenue.
Oh man!
We're going to have the entire west coast of Florida here sooner than later.
All right, so that's the goal there.
Yeah.
Well, what do you let's brag on the company a little bit. What do you attribute that success to? I mean, what's just off the top of your head? I kind of
no, that's fine. A couple things that the owner has done. He has realized that you got to hire the right people, put the right people in charge. You can't do it all yourself.
Any company, any company of any size can do that. Right, there we go.
Yeah, exactly. You can't be everything to everybody.
Right.
He's done a lot of it through internal promotion. There's not a single department manager that did not come from the field. So we've all been there. We've done it. We're not just preaching from a book.
Right.
And then he spends an awful lot in marketing and branding. We have a very recognizable brand in the area. It's so recognizable, in fact, that there's 3 or 4 different companies that essentially copy our brand. So even though it may be a different company driving down the road. When people see the green and white truck, they assume it's cool today, plumbing today, energy today. So we love it that there are companies out there.
That's a compliment.
Mimicking us.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. So,
and as long as you keep moving, they're following, you know.
That's
and,
right.
Hey, and you guys are listening, the smaller shops, this is cool, but you hear where they came from. It wasn't always huge, and they chose,
Our plumbing department is, it's 10 years old. 10 years ago, the owner purchased a 3-truck shop that did about $400,000 a year in revenue. In 10 years, we went from $400,000 to 2 locations, $10+ million in revenue from the plumbing department.
And the key, we have a comment here they put up here from Matthew, and Matthew, I totally agree. You're right on, brother. Branding is key. We talk with guys. I know that we love putting our names on it. The names, and quite frankly, that's what I was. We were privately. My company was privately held, but I created a brand. It wasn't Richard Behney Plumbing. And the brand had as much. Was much worth as actually what the assets were. I mean, that was a big asset.
Absolutely.
But even more importantly, that sticks in, especially today, consumers are just so quick. I mean, they're quickly going through Google and looking at stuff and whatever, and they need something that's going to, stick out, that's going to catch their attention and also mean something. Plumbing today means something, right?
Yep.
Cool today. Was that what the other was? Cool today.
Cool today, plumbing today, energy today.
Energy, right.
Yep.
So, I mean, that means something. So you're right on, Matthew, man. It's just that brand is very, very, very important. All right. Hey, Matthew, I had a question here for you. How much money did you spend on branding approximately?
Oh, it's been millions of dollars spent on the branding. There's no doubt about it.
I know.
So, we spend a little over about $2.3 million a year in our total marketing budget.
Right.
We do very little advertising, very little. Almost all of it is branding.
Right.
We'll sponsor radio shows. We sponsor the weather on the TV, the news. We sponsor the local arts. Any charity event we can get into. We started a program called TCP Today, Taking Care of People Today. And, we do charity jobs. Customers, my text, they can call in and say, hey, Greg, I'm at this customer's house. He's a World War II vet. He's by himself. He's dying of cancer. He needs this. He really can't afford it. What can we do? Do it. Yeah. Just take care of him. Put it in. Do it.
And that's great. And those are great things. But I know a lot of my guys, and I can see some of the comments down below here is, how do guys start out with, plumbing today didn't start doing those things, right off the bat.
No.
But the idea of just having the right, taking your truck is seen, your truck's all over the place. I remember when I started out and when we just had 2 trucks, I had people saying, well, we see your trucks all over the, all over the city. It was 2 trucks, and so it looks a lot bigger, but we had the brand name and the trucks looking good. And, so those are things that you can do, starting out with a shoestring budget, so to speak. Absolutely. And then but what I hear and what I hope you guys are hearing or will understand or listening to is that as you continue to grow, that's an element of your growth. You're just doing more and more and more of that, correct?
Correct.
Right, which then it just starts snowballing on itself.
Yep.
And then before you know it, you own half of Florida. The brand. Right? So there we go. All right. Hey, good stuff there. Hey, Greg, I'm gonna let you get ready for the lightning round. I'm just gonna talk to the guys very quickly here. Hey, if you guys again, look, you guys are just starting out. It's great. You got your license, you got your plumbing truck, and you got your plumbing dream, and that's all great. You got the skill, you got the will, but hey, there's a reality to it. 95% of all businesses fail. Plumbing businesses fail within the first 3 years. You need help, and I know it's and the guys that succeed the quickest, and especially I did this for the first 5 years of my plumbing business. I struggled along. It would have been cheaper just to work for plumbing today than what I was doing. But when I brought on a coach, everything clicked for me. It changed. I had someone who'd been there, done that, and was able to show me the way, and it made sense. All right. So, hey, that's what I do. I offer private coaching here. I've opened up some time slots, and well, I added some time slots. It's my heart. I just really want to get this information to you guys. I've made it very affordable, and again, but most importantly, I've been there and done that. Hey, to see if we're we're a fit. All right, to see if you and I are a fit. I want to offer you a 15-minute consultation, free consultation. And if you'll type 15 in the comments, that's 15, simply type 15 in the comments. I'll get that information to you. We'll get you scheduled up here, and we'll just have a conversation, all right? And take a look at, it's very easy, very simple. We'll take a look at where you're at, and where you want to go, and whether we can do it together, whether it feels like it's the right fit, all right? So do that. Type 15 in the comments here, and let's have a conversation. We'll get you on the way. But most importantly, hey, let's get Greg back here for the lightning round. All right? All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I gave you a breather. All right? So you're okay. All right, here we go. You know how we play? I'm just going to ask you some questions here, and you just say the first thing that comes to your mind. All right? Hey, and you guys that are watching, you can play too. Just type them in the comments. All right? So here we go. I'll take it easy on you in the first one here. Favorite on-the-job music?
I listen to podcasts.
Hey, there we go. Hey, there's a nugget of gold there. I got to. You're taking the time to listen to, and you're probably listening to a podcast about growing your business or insight
business
things.
Development, personal growth.
There we go. Okay, we're talking. That's why they're taking over Florida. All right, there we go. You want to? There's some. That's a nugget of gold there. All right, here we go. A plumbing job or task that you just simply refuse to do. Just can't do it. Ugh. I know.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever refused to do it. I've eaten lunch doing sewer and drains, camera and sewers.
There we go, right.
It's all money.
Yeah, there we go. It smells like money, right?
That's right.
I smell money.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, here we go. Your go-to truck snack. What kind of beef jerky? All right. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
I'm a plumber. I already have a superpower.
There we go.
That's why plumbers exist, because electricians need heroes.
There we go. Oh man, that's good. That's so true. That's so true. All right. Here we go. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate your truck cleanliness. One being trash to 10 being your fanatic neat freak.
I never won a cleanest truck contest when I was in the field. I was probably a 3, 4. I knew where everything was. I had a stock truck. It was a mess.
You had a system. I know you.
I knew where everything was. I was busy as heck, though. That was my issue.
There we go. Hey, I never cared. I never cared as long as they were making money, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So, all right. Drink of choice. Energy drink of choice. Coffee. All right. I'm a coffee man too. All right. Coffee. These young guns get all pumped up on those
stuff will kill you.
That's why they're young. All right. They can handle it. All right. What's your must-have tool and why?
An open mind.
Here we go. All right.
Open mind. Think new ways of doing things, new products, new services, new technologies. Too often, the plumbing trade. That's new. I'm not messing with that. That's garbage. You know what? That's how you get to grow and take over the west coast of Florida. You stay ahead of the curve.
There we go. Hey, guys, a great nugget of gold there. I know it. As an animal, we're all kind of, I get it. We're all kind of type A. I got it. We're first over the fence. That kind of mentality. But that's one of the problems we see of guys, have a closed mind and just won't take on a new technology or a new technique.
Yep. New way of doing things.
Right. Doesn't mean you have to do it that way. No. But you got to understand what's going on.
Yep.
Right. There we go. Man, great advice there. Worst plumbing injury or near miss?
I broke my shoulder in 3 places, falling 15 feet out of an attic.
Oh. What were you doing in an attic?
Reventing a commercial property.
There we go.
Last piece of cast iron going through the roof on Friday afternoon. I slipped.
Oh, man. Hey, I mean, it's dangerous. It's dangerous work we do,
sure
guys. And it can happen like that, right? Gotta be careful, man. Gotta be careful. Hey, favorite movie?
I really don't watch a lot of movies. I really don't.
Right.
Big history buff, military history, so maybe something like a Black Hawk Down, something like that.
Okay. There we go. Okay. All right. Got it. All right. Here we go. When you were a boy, back in the day, when you were just a lad, a wee lad over, no, you say over there in the UK.
Yeah.
What was the first thing you wanted to be when you grew up?
A lawyer.
A lawyer. You're another guy. We had someone else recently on that wanted to be a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
What's with all right. What was attractive about that to you?
Growing up, my mom used to watch L.A. Law. I used to watch it with her. I'm like, man, I want to be a lawyer. I want to drive a BMW.
There we go. Okay. And then you grew up and you decided plumbing is where I can drive a BMW.
Exactly. I can drive a BMW without $200,000 of college debt.
There we go. All right. There we go. All right, man. Hey, well, we'll get a little more serious here. What's the best advice that you've ever received?
Something you've actually mentioned it already. Get a coach. Absolutely get a coach. We're one of the biggest Nexstar members, revenue-wise. We have a coach. I find mentors a coach. You know, if you want to be a great plumber, you need to talk to great plumbers. You don't want to be talking to Chuck in a truck at the supply house who's woe is me.
Right.
Woe is me. I can't make the phone ring. I can't make my bills.
Right.
You don't want to emulate that guy. If you want to be wealthy, get financial advice from wealthy people, not broke people.
Yep. Well, I'm a little biased on that one. All right, because I agree, and it's just that's when I saw my business take a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Even the greatest basketball player that I feel ever lived. Michael Jordan. Even after
multiple coaches.
Right. And it's just you have someone else that's not emotionally tied to whatever it is you're doing, and is taking a look at you, and you can see where can take you where you want to go. So
they're going to hold you accountable because let's be honest, we have a hard time holding ourselves accountable.
Right, and that's what it's about. So, Hey, I think that's great advice. All right. All right, man. Hey, Greg. Hey, great time. I really a lot of great information. Hey, guys, I hope you were listening up there. A lot of nuggets of gold there. Greg, appreciate your time. Appreciate the information. I'll be watching. We're going to be watching. Plumbing Today, and as you take over Florida. I know there's some guys out there thinking, well, we'll have to see about that. Well, that's the fun part. Right? That's the fun part. All right. Hey, again, man. Hey, appreciate you being on the show. It's a great time. All right. Good job, brother. We'll talk to you soon. All right, man. Hey, there you go, guys. Greg Faulkner of Plumbing Today out of Sarasota, Florida is taking over. Going to take over the west coast of Florida there. That's their plan. What's your plan? All right. Got to have a plan. All right. You got to know where you're headed. You don't know where you're headed? Yeah, you ain't headed anywhere. It sounds like a country song. Should be. If it's not, it should be, right? Sure. All right. Hey, guys, if you'd like to be on Potty Talk Live, I'd love to have you on Potty Talk Live. Love to hear your story. We can talk about where you're headed. All right. And we'll have a good time doing it. Just going over to www.pottytalklive.com. Click on the Be My Guest, and we'll get you on the show to ask a couple questions there. And hey, got to be a plumber, be in plumbing. That's the only stipulation there. But love to have you on the show and talk with you there. Also can see other episodes there and see what other guys had to say, okay? Also, want to make sure I get my free report in your hands, the 7 Must Knows to Be a $1 Million Plumber, all right? 7 Must Knows to Be a $1 Million Plumber. Type free in the comments, and I'll get that out to you. And also, a reminder, I do have open slots I've added for my private coaching. We can have a conversation and give you a 15-minute free consultation. Quite frankly, they wind up going longer than 15 minutes, but I got to have some kind of time limit there. But we'll just have a little conversation and see if we're a good fit for one another, all right? And see if, we can take you where you want to go. That's what it's all about, all right? Your journey, your trip, all right? So there you have it. Hey, this was a great I made it through, even with the spring fever, guys. All right, I made it, guys. Woo. All right, you clap. Oh, there we go. Congratulations. All right, thank you. All right, but it's about time to flush this episode, right? Okay, so here we go. But I want to remind you guys, as always, I want to remind you that you were purposefully and wonderfully created, and you were created to do great things. Okay, so when you hear those other voices saying blah blah blah, no, you were created to do great things. So when you're out there plumbing, plumb safely. But as always, plumb like a champion. We'll see you next